Hey YouTube, BR Tidwell 55 here. Uh, this is a response to Shoot the Messenger episode 005. Uh, there's some questions that you raise, interesting topics that really speak to uh, people's values and how they live their values and and how you raise children is it really goes to the heart of that. Uh, I agree with you that as you bring up children, that if you view part of your job, and I think you should, in raising children, you want them to be independent. You want them to be able to stand on their own, and you do want them to be able to form their ideas. People have different ideas on how best to go about that. Because on the one hand, you could completely, you could or try to completely shelter uh, and prevent everything and prevent your children from ever seeing anything that you disagree with. Uh, I've seen people who've done that, and I have seen the result of that, and a lot of times you end up having the opposite effect, the opposite desire, because then they once everybody goes through a little bit of a rebellious stage when as they grow up. That's part of the maturation process, I think, and and man, when those sheltered kids hit that rebellious stage, and they just totally, sometimes, a lot of times, they just totally turn their backs on the values that their parents were trying to raise them with. And that's one of the things I hope I'm able to do as I raise my kids is to successfully pass on my values to them. Uh, I think that's important, and I want to do it in such a way as that they adopt my values of their own choice. Not that I'm imposing it on them, but they are informed enough to have those values. And how you go about that, man, that's, wow, I don't know how you do that. It's one of those things you kind of figure out as you go along, I think. With my kids, I mean, my kids are 8 and 10, or 8 and 11, and so they're at a very critical, they're at a stage where there's some things you want to expose them to, but there's other things that you just want to keep them away from, for a little while longer, till they're ready for it, till you think they're ready for it. And for example, I'm a big fan of AC/DC music. I love AC/DC music, and I play my my radio station in my vehicle. When I'm driving around, it stays on the classic rock station. Uh, and They were playing the other day. They were playing Back in Black, and I was singing along to it. And the song's over with, and I hear my 8-year-old going, "Nine lives, cat's eyes." Like, you know, that was actually kind of a proud moment. Uh, but I tell you what, when I was a kid, man, my old man caught me listening to AC/DC, you know, it would have been, well, it wouldn't have been good. He did not approve of that kind of music. Uh, so, so I'm doing it a little bit differently than my dad did, and I'm probably a little bit more liberal and a little bit more permissive than what my own father was with me. Not that I'm saying I grew up in a sheltered environment, but uh, so, but yeah, I do think you, I think one of the responsibilities of being a parent is, and I think all parents want to do this, is that they want to pass on to their kids the values that they hold. And, you know, and one of the ways you do that is you kind of have to act as a filter at various stages for, you know, what your kids see, what they watch on TV, what they, the kind of music they listen to. Uh, you know, I think you have to do that as they get older and they're ready to be exposed to more stuff. Then you can loosen up that filter a little bit. Maybe guide their tastes a little bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, but there again, as a parent, that's my responsibility and that's my job. I don't want Big Brother doing it for me, because I want my kids to adopt my values and not necessarily the values that the powers that be think are appropriate. So, and I want them to be free. I want them to think for themselves and make decisions for themselves and take responsibility for themselves, which, you know, I'm going to make a comment that's going to go off on a whole other tangent, but honestly, I don't think that's what the people in the public education establishment want at all. I really don't. I really think they want good little drones who will go to work and pay their taxes and not question government, and that's not what I want my kids to turn out to be. So anyway, that's my response. Glad to keep the conversation going, and looking for more. By all means, I consider this an open thread, so please, anyone else has any ideas, you know, you want to call me Puritan, fascist, whatever, you know, go ahead. I can take it. But anyway, thanks for watching.